So just a quick anecdote about what happened before last week's show. For the second time in my life,
Oh, I know where we're going. Okay.
I overslept ahead of a show that I was going to tape with you last week.
Right.
And it was shocking to us because I don't oversleep.
Well, he never, for 8 years on Fox, you were up at 2 a.m. every morning, and I would hear you at 3 a.m.
And for what that's worth, if you go back 20 years ago, 12 years on ESPN, I always did morning television.
4 in the morning or 3 in the morning.
And I was up
3.
on Cold Pizza at 3 in the morning for 3 years. And I never missed.
You never overslept.
But I would set at least two alarms, sometimes three. Yes, sometimes 3 alarms. I'm not going to miss. Right. But for the taping of this show, hey, you got to calm down.
Well, you had told me you were getting up at 6.
Yeah,
okay.
I was supposed to get up at 6.
Right? And I was up before you, and I was working out.
Yeah.
And then it was about 10 of 7, and I thought, that's kind of odd. I don't hear you up and about.
Yeah.
And then it was about 7 o'clock, and I turned on the Today Show, and I thought, wow, he has to get done in an hour. This is really weird. Maybe he changed the time, and I didn't know. Now it's like 10 after 7.
It was 10
and
after
I'm like,
7.
Well, you have to understand, I come from a Jewish background. So being Jewish,
do I know?
We think of everything immediately is wrong. That we go to the bad, the worst scenario. It's very Woody Allen because that's why I have I love Woody Allen.
She's the female Woody Allen.
I am the female Woody Allen. And it's this neuroses that immediately, if somebody doesn't pick a phone up, somebody doesn't answer a door, you think they're dead.
They're dead.
So I then knew it was late. You should have been up an hour before that. And I started going towards the door. And immediately in my head, I'm thinking, oh, my God, this is going to be a bad scene. I could see the headlines now of the New York Post. It's going to say, sports analyst, creative person. He was a wonderful guy.
He was a wonderful guy.
His wife discovered she's dead. He's dead in the bed. Okay. So I knock on the door, and I go, Skip? There's no answer. I open the door slowly, and I say, Skip. There's no answer. And then immediately I'm thinking, this is going to be bad. I better call my sister. And I go, Skip. And you go, oh my God, I'm late. And then I was like, okay,
sleep.
He's not dead,
and I was
he's alive.
Dreaming that you were talking to me in my dream.
Right.
Saying, Skip.
And Hazel runs in, and she's jumping on the bed. She thinks that you're playing because you're putting your underwear and you're
fast.
I'm late.
Yeah.
There you go.
Total craziness. But the irony of this story is that I then tried to get you to appreciate the fact that my life changed because of the first time and the only other time that I overslept.
Right.
Because it had happened to me in high school, my senior year of high school, when my journalism teacher had entered me in this scholarship competition at Vanderbilt. I didn't even know where Vanderbilt was. And this was life-changing for me, according to my journalism teacher. And I'm like, there's no way. And we checked it out. Nobody from west of the Mississippi had ever won this Grantland Rice scholarship. Yeah. So she told me, my journalism teacher, Mrs. Burdett, you have to take the SAT on top of the ACT, which I'd already taken because that's just for in-state. And I was going to the University of Oklahoma like everybody else in my high school. Everybody's going to OU.
Right.
And Vanderbilt, I have to take the SAT. So I didn't take it seriously. I didn't study for it. I didn't take the pre-SAT. I didn't take anything. But I knew that at 9 a.m. on Saturday morning, I had to drive across Oklahoma City to a high school called McGinnis High School, a Catholic high school, and be there promptly at 9 and take the SAT if I had a prayer of getting into Vanderbilt. Right. Well, this is the only time in my life we had a high school football game the night before. I played basketball and baseball, but we all went to the game. The basketball team went together to the game, and it was in Enid, Oklahoma, which is a couple hours away, and then the traffic was terrible getting out of Enid because of all the people going back to Oklahoma City. Right. And we were way late getting home. And for some reason, as I got in bed, I forgot to turn my alarm on. God. I was wiped out. It had been a long Friday, and I didn't turn it on. And I woke up 15 minutes until 9 on Saturday morning. God. And you want to talk about panic?
Oh, my God.
You want to talk about out of my mind?
That's horrible.
Throwing on clothes, running for I had a 1967 Camaro SS 350, and it would fly, and I flew across town, breaking every speed record, probably.
Yeah.
And I ran in the door of this building at McGinnis High School at 9:05, and the nun was there presiding. And we didn't have nuns at my school, but
Right.
she was presiding, and she gave me this scolding look like, you're late. And I'm like, yeah, but, and she gave me the break of my life. She handed me the SAT and the
Wow.
pencil
Right,
to mark it,
right.
and said, go.
Yeah.
Well, now every other kid in the room is head down, they're
And you're coming
7
in
minutes
late.
ahead.
Yeah, you're late,
right?
and you're gonna ace it.
And I'm not, but I got no chance because I haven't studied for the SAT. And again, I went to a public high school, so I didn't have any private school background or
Right.
tutoring. And I don't know if I aced it, but I did pretty well. Okay, well,
The moral of the story is
okay, I'm trying to tell her about this story, and she thinks I'm dead.
Well,
That was
but
that's
the only
culture
thing
clash.
was culture clash. But the thing was, you set your alarm for 6:30, 6 a.m. 6 p.m. instead of 6 a.m.
The night before, I went 6:30, and I scrolled down to a lot of
Right.
alarms I'd already set, and I went to 6:30 p.m.
p.m. That was the problem.
Okay, that was the problem. But at least I tried. At least I
No,
set
it's fine.
something.
The culture clash is, I think you're dead, and you immediately start telling me a story of the
Yeah,
last time
like
you ever.
my life changed.
Right.
What if I'd slept for 10 more minutes? What if the nun had said,
that's like
no,
that
sorry.
movie Sliding Doors. Is it Sliding Doors or Glass Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow?
I don't know
When
it.
she goes left and she meets the guy of her dreams,
Okay.
or she goes right and she never meets him and her life goes on. So
Okay.
that was your
It
Glass
was my
Doors.
moment because I took the right door. I went the
Right.
right direction because I won the scholarship, but you have to be accepted to
Yeah.
Vanderbilt to accept the scholarship.
yeah,
Okay.
so
and it changed my life
that
because
was
it
a
got me
fate,
out of a
but it's
terrible
fate.
home life.
Fate.
Yeah.
Fate does that.
Okay. Fate does that.
Your
So,
fate was that I woke you up.
okay.